LGBTQ couples and individuals who want to start families have various options for starting these families. These options include artificial insemination, surrogacy, and adoption. There are two types of adoption, domestic and international, otherwise known as inter-country adoption. Both domestic and inter-country adoptions share the legal transfer of parental rights and responsibilities. Inter-country adoption is different from domestic adoption because the adoptive parents and agencies must work through the laws that make it possible for the adoptive child to live in a new country. 21.2% of children in same-sex households are either adopted or are stepchildren. Almost 40% of all agencies and 83% of public agencies reported making at least one adoption placement with a lesbian or gay man. 1/3 of agencies would reject a gay or lesbian applicant either because of the religious beliefs guiding the agency, a state law prohibiting placement with LGBT parents, or a policy of placing children only with married couples. An estimated 65,500 adopted children are living with a gay or lesbian parent, and in 2012, 110,000 children lived with gay parents. With an increase in same-sex parent adoption, it is becoming more important for same-sex couples to receive equal treatment as heterosexual couples hoping to adopt. Some countries make this easier and others make it more challenging. Russia, for example, has recently banned adoptions from any other country that allows a same-sex couple to adopt. This even includes heterosexual couples who live in places like Sweden that have legalized same-sex couple adoption. Gay adoption is legal in the Netherlands, Spain, England, Argentina, Iceland, and Wales. Other countries like Belgium, Iceland, Norway, Germany, and Denmark allow second-parent adoption. Domestically, the United States generally fits into the latter category of countries that allow second-parent adoption. However, this varies greatly by specific agencies and states. Some states tie adoption to marriage, and they allow second-parent adoptions. While the Supreme Court ruling striking down the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA, more same-sex couples will be allowed to marry, and this may reflect an increase in adoptions. Same-sex adoption remains illegal in Florida, but the topic is becoming more contested. In 2010, a gay couple gained the right to adopt children that they'd been fostering. Some states like Mississippi, Utah, and Michigan make same-sex parent adoption explicitly illegal. Other states take no clear stance on same-sex couple adoption. However, with an increasing support and advocacy, same-sex adoption could become more standardized and accessible to all Americans. On the international scale, the Hague Convention hopes to standardize international adoption. The three-part policy was developed to respond to global needs in three areas. Inter-country adoption falls under the International Protection of Children, Family, and Property Relations. Under this branch, inter-country adoption is covered by the International Protection of Children. Based on the UN's The Rights of a Child Convention, which seeks to ensure inter-country adoptions are made in the best interest of the child, the Hague Convention protects children and their families against the risks of illegal, irregular, premature, or ill-prepared adoptions abroad. The Hague Convention serves to legitimize and increase transparency of inter-country adoption. During the process of inter-country adoptions, agencies are working with three different government authorities: the foreign country where the child resides, the U.S. federal immigration law, and the state of residence of the adoptive parents. Adoptions that take place within Hague-accredited agencies are given additional protections as well as some extra requirements. The standards of accreditation by the Hague Convention ensure that the accredited agency is qualified to work on inter-country adoptions. Because the convention focuses on the well-being of each child, it takes the focus away from the sexual orientation of the prospective parents. In 2012, the top 5 countries where people adopted from were China, Ethiopia, Russia, South Korea, and the Ukraine. Of these, China is the only one that is part of the Hague Convention. The top 5 receiving countries for 2012 were the United States, Canada, France, Italy, and Spain, all of which are accredited by the Hague Convention. The Hague Convention provides a focus and transparency within the adopting process, directing attention toward the legal process of adoption and ensuring the legitimacy of it. Although this convention is not in direct support of gay parenting, it allows gay and lesbian couples hoping to parent a better chance at successful adoptions, as well as finding a loving home for children. With this policy in place, it gives the decision to the agency. Each individual agency has the choice to become accredited or not, but it isn't necessary to become a part of the convention to process adoptions. However, having an increased transparency in the process may draw more prospective couples to accredited agencies. So far, science supports gay parenting. Children of gay and lesbian couples are not detrimental to their children's upbringing. When it comes to adoption, kids don't look at the sexual orientation of the parents if they are loving and caring parents. Most kids do not even have another situation to compare theirs to.
I have one mum and one dad.
I have a big sister called Anna, a little sister called Laura, who's just out there, and a brother called Raoul.
I have two mums, a little sister who is quite annoying. I have a big sister. She has a skeleton on her t-shirt. I've got two mothers. Sadly, one of them couldn't come today. She's in Germany. My sister's cheeky. My mum's lovely. And my pet is furry. I have two mums. We have a dog, 3 cats, and 3 chickens. One died.
Why have you got a t-shirt?
Because my family's not awkward, it's just fine. That's why it says get over it, that's why I bought it. My family's special because my family always does nice things for me. Best things is that if one mum's away, you always have another one to cuddle.
I know that they're always going to be there.
They always keep my safety because it's my mum's phone number.
Do you think your family is unusual?
No. A bit unusual.
Why is your family unusual?
They're embarrassing.
You're all normal.
They're all normal, unless you could fly or you had a long nose like that.
Do you think your family is unusual or
No.
nothing unusual about it?
No.
Normal?
Yeah.
Do you wish it was unusual?